Today, we explore how this date completely reshaped our world across five powerful dimensions: culture, education, finance, politics, and technology. This day proves that history never rests. Let's dive into the fascinating interconnected events of this date that continue to influence how we live, think, and innovate today. So, without much further ado, let's go.
Imagine a single policy shift that, instantly generates the equivalent of 60 years of technological innovation overnight.
Yeah, it sounds completely impossible.
Right. But looking at the fascinating stack of research you sent our way today, we are doing a deep dive into how the enforcement of emancipation on June 19th did exactly that. So for you listening, today is all about uncovering the hidden dimensions of Juneteenth.
Exactly. From massive financial shifts to the cultural meaning of red foods, and even a really strange parallel to space exploration.
It's just such a wild mix of topics because June 19th isn't just a static timeline of human rights, right?
Yeah.
It's this focal point where economics, culture, and science all take massive leaps forward.
Against incredible odds, too.
Yeah. And to really wrap our heads around why this day was such a shock to the system, it helps to think of the 1863 Emancipation Proclamation like a mandate coming down from corporate headquarters.
Right, a policy change.
Exactly. It looked great on paper in Washington. But with no one on the ground to actually audit and enforce it, nothing changed in places like Texas for, 900 days.
Which is just devastating to think about.
It really is. So, General Order Number 3, which was delivered by Union General Gordon Granger down in Galveston in 1865, was basically that strict, vastly overdue audit.
And the economic impact of that audit was staggering. According to a working paper from the Becker-Friedman Institute, which is a really prominent economic research center, slavery wasn't just a moral catastrophe. It was, a devastating market failure.
Wait, a market failure?
Yeah. The researchers found that emancipation created an aggregate productivity boost of somewhere between 4 to 35%.
Wait, really? So just the act of freeing enslaved people generated massive immediate wealth?
Yes, absolutely.
How does that actually work on a mechanical level? I mean, where does the wealth come from so suddenly?
Well, it comes down to human capital. Slavery forced millions of people into brute manual labor, completely ignoring their actual intellect or talents or inventive skills.
Oh, I see. They couldn't use what they were actually good at.
Exactly. When emancipation was finally enforced, it allowed a massive workforce to begin matching their unique abilities to the right jobs.
Right.
That sudden correction in the labor market generated a surplus that the researchers equate to decades of technological progress just happening all at once.
That really puts into perspective how monumental this physical and economic liberation was.
Oh, for sure.
And it explains why it sparks such a very specific celebration of resilience. I have to admit, though, looking at your sources about traditional Juneteenth cookouts, I always assumed things like hibiscus tea, red velvet cake, and strawberry soda were just served because, well, berries are in season in June.
Yeah, that's a super common assumption. But food historian Michael Twitty points out a much deeper origin. Yeah, red symbolizes power, sacrifice, and transformation, tracing directly back to the enslaved Yoruba and Congo cultures brought to Texas. So
Oh,
eating red foods is a deliberate act of cultural preservation, not just a coincidence of the summer harvest.
that is so powerful. And that preservation is also baked right into the music, isn't it?
It absolutely is. The spirituals and blues from that era capture both the trauma of slavery and the sheer joy of survival.
Yeah, I noticed in the modern educational guides you included, like the one from Valley Children's Healthcare, they actively encourage kids to listen to those historical rhythms.
Right, to reflect on what the word freedom actually means to them today.
It's such a great way to connect the past to the present.
And that deep intergenerational memory is what kept the significance of the day alive, It fueled a political fight for recognition that lasted over a century.
Right, culminating in activists like Opal Lee.
The grandmother of Juneteenth.
Exactly. Walking for decades until it became a federal holiday in 2021. And looking impartially at the historical record you provided, It passed with massive bipartisan support.
It did, though it is noted in the records that 14 House Republicans opposed the measure.
Right. But what's really striking is how June 19th has almost become this global symbol for taking massive leaps forward despite heavy historical baggage. Like, it reaches far beyond U.S. borders.
Oh, definitely. Have you heard of the Muskogos?
Actually, no, I hadn't until I read your notes.
So they're descendants of Black Seminoles who escaped slavery, and they actually celebrate Juneteenth down in Mexico.
That's incredible. I also saw in the notes that June 19th is World Sickle Cell Day.
Yes. It was championed by Edwidge Ebikis Batisu to fight a genetic disease that disproportionately affects the diaspora.
It really fits that theme of overcoming systemic disadvantages.
It does, and we even see that exact theme pop up in science on the very same date.
Wait, the space parallel.
Yeah. On June 19th, 1981, India launched APLE, which was its first experimental communication satellite. Because they lacked high-tech transport infrastructure, parts of the satellite were famously carried on a wooden bullock cart.
A wooden cart? Are you serious?
I'm serious. It's a perfect image of using whatever you have to make a giant leap forward.
Taking a step back, this means June 19th isn't just a date on a calendar for you to circle. It represents immense breakthroughs across human rights, economics, deep cultural roots, and even science.
It really forces us to look at how much human potential gets locked away by oppressive systems.
Yeah.
Which leaves us with a somewhat provocative thought.
Go for it.
Well, if correcting the market failure of slavery sparked the greatest single-year economic surplus in U.S. history, what other modern systemic inequities are secretly stifling our global progress right now?
Man, that really makes you wonder if our own modern systems are just waiting for a strict audit to finally unlock all that hidden potential.
Hi viewers, family and friends. How did you like the content of this video? Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Please write in the comments your name and the place you are watching from. Since our viewing family is spread all over the world, it will be nice to know which city and the country you are watching from, so I can say hello to you. Science and technology. Reading and listening to the historical accomplishments on this date of those who have gone before us, I, as a professional engineer with interest in structural engineering, energy-efficient buildings, ICF construction, and as Google Docs expert with interest in spreadsheet-based solutions, draw inspiration to ask of myself the million-dollar question. What would I accomplish today? Think about the Japanese practice of Kaizen. Let me know in the comments, what would you accomplish today? Your subscribing to the channel inspires me to post more such videos. Thanks for your patronage. See you in the next video. Sincerely, Yogi Anand.